steps that you can take to help Google understand the images on your website better, the first step that you can take is to use relevant images on your website. Now, this is coming directly from Google's image SEO documentation, and they explicitly say that you should be using images that are contextually relevant to the page. And it kind of makes sense. If you have a website that is all about pizzas, it makes little sense to have images of cats on the website, right? Google also says that you should be using original images as much as possible. So don't just go to Google Images and download the first image you can find there and use it on your website. That's a strict no-no. Talking about the next step you can implement on your website to help Google understand the images on your website better is to strategically place the images on your website. Now, this is coming from Google's documentation as well. It says, whenever possible, place images near relevant text. And they also recommend placing the most important images or image near the top of the page. A simple example of this is Brian Dean's website, backlinko.com. If you observe any of his content, he does place a relevant image on the top of the page, and he also adds appropriate images alongside the content too. This helps with his website's image SEO and also makes his content more visual and easily consumable. So the next,
what an image is all about. It appears as a tag in the source code, and it's shown on the front end when the images on a page fail to load. Also, people who use assistive devices to navigate the web hear the alternative text as the description of the image. You can define the alternative text by opening the image to edit, whether that's in your post or in WordPress's admin panel, by going to the media library and clicking on it. Follow the same recommendations as the file name. Describe your images in plain, simple language, but now instead of hyphens, you should separate the words with spaces. Keep it short but descriptive, and don't stuff your alt attributes full of keywords. In product pictures, besides describing what's in the image, you could include a serial number or unique identifier if it's something that people would search for to find that product, to reinforce the clear relationship between your product's pages and images and searches that people are performing based on the related searches for a query. Captions can also be used by Google to better understand images. They're not absolutely necessary, and you can dismiss them for images that are purely decorative or that have relevant text right next to them. However, adding a caption to give credit to the original source of the image or to point out something specific in it is helpful for search and your readers. Rank Math actually makes it possible to automate the alt text process. Missing alt attributes can automatically be added using different variables, such as their file name. To do that, go to Rank Math's General Settings. In the Image tab, activate the option Add Missing Alt Attributes and save the changes. Rank Math Pro allows you to do the same for captions. Keep in mind that the alt titles and captions are generated dynamically, which means that Rank Math adds the caption to the images while the page loads, not before that. In other words, if you check your images from the WordPress Media Gallery, you will not find the captions added there, but you will find them on posts, pages, etc.
In this video, I'll show you 3 ways to optimize your images for SEO. What's going on? I'm Michael Quinn from My Site Ranked, bringing you the most practical SEO tips for the average Joe and Jane. If you want to get my exclusive SEO resources, head on over to mysiteranked.com and check out this video's description for links to some of my best stuff. With more and more competition vying for the top spots on Google, every inch counts when it comes to your search engine optimization. And images are one of the most commonly overlooked elements on your website. Let's talk about 3 ways you can optimize your images to give you the edge with Google. Tip number 1, resize your images. Website page speed is a growing SEO factor for Google, and large images slow your website way down. Slow loading images are not only bad for the user experience, which is also a ranking factor, but Google actually puts more weight on the mobile side of your website versus the desktop when it comes to SEO. So you should really be optimizing for mobile anyway, meaning there's less and less of a need for gigantic images on your site. Here are some things to keep in mind. Resize your images before uploading them. Don't rely solely on WordPress plugins like WP Smush to compress your images after the fact. Most photos and stock images these days are huge in size, and a plugin like this won't do much to shrink a multiple megabyte-sized image.